Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tales podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live right now on Crowdcast on a Sunday night. Just finished watching Steph Curry put up the first ever and only 50-point game in a game 7 in the NBA playoffs. Oh, Father God, this boy. They was down on the ropes. I really wasn't sure they could beat the Kings. I've been watching Kings all year. And I said, I know everybody else is just picking the Warriors because they just know the Warriors. They familiar with the brand. But they haven't watched the Kings. They definitely ain't seen that home court advantage the Kings have. That fucking arena be crazy. Them boys young. They be running up and down the court. They fast and more athletic. They had went into motherfucking Golden State and won a game like the game 6.
One.
I said, man, it is a lot of pressure on them on Steph Curry and them boys. Mm-hmm. And motherfucking Steph Curry said, what pressure? He went out there and I mean, shout out to Looney. You know what I'm saying? Like he had 21 rebounds. Good for him. Outstanding game for him.
Yes, 20. You're not trying to be funny. You can't shake your head at 21 rebounds.
No,
because the 21 rebounds make a difference. And something I've realized about watching basketball, you know me, we love basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. Sometimes it can be very, very frustrating when everybody shoots these threes, which is nothing wrong with that, but nobody's rebounding. So it's like, well, then you're missing, then you're not rebounding on offense or defense.
Well, here's my thing.
That nigga was like, I got the ball everywhere.
Here's my thing, though. Props to Looney. He did his thing. Mm-hmm. That being said, if Kevon Looney wasn't even playing today, collectively amongst the Warriors, they would have got a lot of them rebounds. Because the Kings wasn't shooting that great, but it was also just like the Kings weren't rebounding well. Like, you know, they're a smaller team, and so a lot of their weaknesses got exposed this game, and it was a physical game. No one else on that team was capable of putting up points. This nigga Steph Curry hit all the points. Like it was Clay was out there shooting like the people that tried to kill 50 Cent. Like, what are you aiming at, bro? You're the shooter. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like Jordan Poole, did he play today? Like I don't even remember like a Jordan Poole moment from the game where I was like, oh, it was Poole getting hot.
Because you heard his name, yeah.
It was just Steph out there, and it was like when you watch a boxing match, and the boxer that's winning is winning by just jabbing the person. Like they not even hitting haymakers and all these crazy.
Just weighing them out.
He was just coming out every play and just hitting shots that are hard to hit, but don't like he made them look so easy. You just look up and be like, damn, you got 20 already? Oh wow, okay. Damn, another 10. Okay, so you got 30.
Yeah, those the points. Those I call them like them sneak up points where it don't look like they playing hard, but you were like, well, goddamn, you is actually balling.
And at one point, he missed 2 free throws in a row. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen.
He don't miss free throws.
Steph missed 2 free throws in a row. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I really, and that was in the beginning and I said in the beginning of the first half they were down 2 at halftime, and I said, if you're the Warriors, you got to feel good about being down 2 and Klay Thompson didn't even show up. He hasn't done shit. He was like 1 for 10 at the time. That's a get on my back situation. And Steph put them on his back and just inspired the world. I just, oh my God. Like, how do you not love basketball?
It beat him by 20.
Like, beat him by 20 and had me watching the whole game. Like, well, I just want to watch now what Steph gonna do. Like, I don't like, when the game was getting like to that point where it, you know, in the NBA can go either way when it's like a 10-point game with 5-6 minutes left, you know, momentum or somebody miss a couple shots,
goes on a good run,
anything can happen. Man, Steph was like, anything can't happen today, bitch. It's over.
I said it's over.
His shit looked like and one. The Globetrotter, like he was just dribbling through like eight people and just lay it up on the other side, and you're just like, Howard. They know what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. They know what he's going to do. Mm-hmm. You can't stop it. Mm-mm. Oh my God! Oh.
Very few players play like that, and when they get in that zone, it is to watch.
Right.
Somebody just all my years watching the NBA, it was beautiful to watch Jordan do it. Beautiful to watch Kobe do it. LeBron. It's just I love when they get in the zone like that.
Everybody you just named has never had a 50-point game 7.
True.
That's crazy. He the only one.
That's a record.
Oh my God.
That's literally gonna go down in history.
Oh my God. I can't believe he put the whole team on his back and just like, fine, I'll do it myself, like Thanos picking up that glove.
It's like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, like if y'all really ain't gonna do shit today, then I got y'all. But damn, like honestly, it made me think if motherfucking Draymond Green wouldn't have almost got kicked out of the if he hadn't got kicked out that game and basically gave away what felt like, it felt like he gave away the series.
Yes, because the momentum was changing, right?
And Steph came and took that shit back. He said, "That's my series, punk," and made everybody hop off the bike and drove off on his own. Oh God, I love that. I love that dude. He is so fucking good, man. Oh my God. All right. Let's get into the show. So the official weapon of the show is
the taser.
Unofficial sport.
A
bullet ball extreme. You can watch us live on Crowdcast. I actually want to give a shout out to Mwangangi, Carrie, Dre, Sean, Jackie, Trey, Mary, Phil. I think this is East. It's YS. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Sunshine, Cypher, Sweet Feet, Terry, Nerdy, the Sensei, Desiree, Emperor L, B Rock, Miss Barnes, Bridget, M Nicole, Ramsey D, Cass Always, all the people that's in here live right now.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all.
Y'all make it worth it, you know, because we know that it's the crew, and then we send it out. It's coming out, and when somebody misses, boy, they be mad. I be reading the chat periodically, like, but goddamn, I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
They be upset,
even if they're just like late a lot of times.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure y'all get y'all props and y'all shout out because we appreciate y'all.
We do. Y'all keep us company
for coming in and hanging out with us and seeing what we gonna do every day. All right, let's get into just some news of the day. Oh wait, I forgot the music doesn't play all the time like it's supposed to.
It's doing its own thing.
All right, let's talk about some news. All kinds of stuff happening. Jada Pinkett Smith says the Red Table Talk is on the hunt for a new home amid cancellation.
I can see that. That's understandable because they literally have a built-in audience. Like, I know it's Facebook and people shit on Facebook, but that's literally a built-in audience. So, and on top of that, you could actually watch it on, if you had Samsung TVs, it was actually a Red Table Talk channel where you can kind of watch it similar to YouTube if you didn't want to watch it through YouTube.
Oh, it's a Red Table Talk channel? Okay.
Yeah, like
I knew you could go to Facebook Watch, and then on Facebook Watch you could pick different things from Facebook and watch it on your TV. But they have an actual Red Table Talk, like its own app or whatever.
Yeah, its own thing through, and I don't know about I know through Samsung, because when I was on the TV, I was going, and you know how sometimes they have like apps that pop up. And I clicked on it, and it's like everything in there is just nothing but them. Wow. And that's how I seen some of the.
That's crazy because people didn't promote it that way. But I think a lot of people, with it being on Facebook, you wouldn't assume you could watch it on your TV. Most people watch on their phone, tablets, computers. I do wonder if it's the kind of thing where more people would have watched it if it would have been on TV, because I feel like long form content on a social media app is just hard to get going. It's the way that I can have X amount of Twitter followers, but I'm never gonna have X amount of podcast listeners from Twitter, because
no, those are two different.
Twitter is 160 words or characters or whatever. Twitter is for people to scroll and to move to the next thing. A podcast is literally for you to sit here with us and let us talk to you for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And so I always felt that was a hindrance to Red Table Talk. That being said, it still succeeded. People still listen. It still went viral. People still shared it. People still watched it. But I feel like they're an attractive show for some other service to pick up, even if it's not internet based. Like everyone's probably thinking like YouTube, and I know they have YouTube TV and stuff, but I'm saying like you could probably shop this to a network.
Yes. And to piggyback on what you said, and something that I never really understood, and I don't know if this was a contractual obligation through Facebook. Why didn't they ever just shop the episodes and make them podcasts? Like, yeah, his Facebook, but separate from that, here's the Red Table Talk we just did in audio form. Like, because their audience would have just really blown. They've been introduced to a whole new audience.
And I think Facebook purposely didn't want them having a podcast a lot of that time. I don't know if they eventually got one or not, but I remember searching for it and being like, this would have worked in audio. Yes. You could even do podcasts in video form, the way they do with Spotify for podcasts. Mm-hmm. But I think they were thinking anything that is taking you away from this app is competition we don't want to deal with. So we don't want you to go to Apple to download a show that we want you to watch. Because I remember at one point they even made it so you could literally watch the show and still keep scrolling Facebook. Like you could go leave comments, post statuses, and in the bottom corner is just Red Table Talk. So they just didn't want you leaving the app, and they saw Red Table Talk as a way to keep you in the app. Now this isn't necessarily a particular failure of Red Table Talk in any type of way, because it seems like Facebook just decided to get out of the TV business.
Yeah, they was like all original programming they basically scrapped, because they've had several shows with superstars or like famous people over the years they've started and scrapped and all that stuff. But Red Table Talk was one of the few that actually had longevity, because it's been on for a very, very long time. And so it's actually very popular, like I said, with a built-in audience, but your audience is limited when you can't go across multiple platforms.
So that was the first article. Let's see. Change in oral sex attitudes is causing a rise in HPV related throat cancer. Oh, I guess we all owe Michael Douglas an apology. Cases of throat cancer have been skyrocketing in recent years, mainly due to increased levels of HPV infections caused by oral sex. Oropharyngeal cancer is mainly caused by HPV infections and is now more common than cervical cancer, also caused by HPV in both the US and the UK.
Goddamn.
Yeah, according to the article, the main risk factor for this cancer is the number of sexual partners you have in your lifetime, particularly oral sex. All this time, everyone's been not counting the oral sex. Like,
so many.
No one counts the dicks they suck. It's always like, how many people you slept with? Okay, rounding down,
Yes, because a lot of people in general, people know that oral sex is sex, but people don't look at oral sex as sex. No, that sounds stupid, but that's how the average.
It doesn't. I think we all understand where you're coming from.
That's how the average person is. Oral sex is a form of sex, but a lot of people consider them two separate things.
No one counts those dicks, okay? If you sucked 7 dicks, but you only had like penetrative sex in the other orifices, we know we don't count those. Everybody knows that's the rule. So, unfortunately, that rule is probably putting a lot of people in danger, because people have guilt complexes and they don't want to count them dicks. They don't want to count the people that they just ate out. They don't want to count those. So, of course, they're like, duh. I only slept with a couple people in my life. And then it's like, yeah, but you got throat cancer. Where'd that come from?
Right. And also, it would not be surprising when it comes to oral sex. A lot of people, they disregard contraceptives when it comes to oral sex.
Well, no one wants to suck a dick with a condom on it. That defeats the purpose.
Right. Yes.
What you gonna eat? You gonna eat a quarter pounder and leave the box on it?
Yep. And then you get throat cancer.
Then I'ma just have to die. Okay. Some people just gonna have to die. This is what it is. We all gotta go. I think we all agree in the chat.
They got dental dams, all types of things you can use. People are like, nope, I don't want that.
Okay, you just eating quarter pounders with the wrappers on them and shit over there, Karen. Oh, you super safe. Well, the rest of us out here are doing what we call living life. Okay.
I guess so.
But yeah, they said people who have had 6 or more lifetime oral sex partners are 8.5 times more likely to develop this type of cancer in the throat. Ooh. Changes in attitudes towards sex or oral sex may be driving the rise in these cancers. So y'all gonna blame Cardi B or some shit? Y'all can blame. Listen, until Lil Kim started rapping about, I used to be scared of the dick, now I throw licks at the shit. Well, she just threw licks at it and got cancer. Okay.
Yeah. Start with the licks.
HPV is a virus that affects. Oh, this is a big ass explainer. According to the CDC, HPV is very common, with 40% of 15 to 59-year-olds having contracted the virus. The virus multiplies in our keratinocyte cells by hijacking the machinery that the cells use to divide and allowing the virus to produce lots more viruses. So,
you know what? I agree with Mary. Mary said, "I suck more dicks if dicks tasted like a quarter pounder," and I agree.
Right. Well, that's not the
because you were talking about the quarter pounder with the rappers. So
yeah, that's not the comparison I was making. Y'all kind of missed the analogy, but sure. I mean, whatever y'all say.
Yes.
Honestly, I'd be scared of if a dick tastes like a quarter pounder. I'd be like, I would never let somebody suck my dick. They might bite it. Unless that's what you into. But yeah, the thing for me I think is interesting is like we all know now that DJ Khaled will never die of this. You know, he told us. We laughed at him.
Not gonna have this problem.
He's having the last laugh. He's just watching us die by throat cancer one by one, and another one.
Yes, he is, and another one goes down.
Yep. He look at Michael. He was like, he look at everybody that don't eat pussy and don't suck dick. He was like, "You smart, you intelligent, you the best.
You a genius."
Over 60% of all cervical cancers are caused by two strains of HPV. Indeed, HPV is the most frequently sexually transmitted disease in the world. So, good luck, everybody. All right. And this got a lot. Maybe that's some knowledge you didn't want to know, but I feel like maybe I'll save somebody.
We want to keep people informed.
Yeah, hopefully I'll save somebody today.
I know now somebody go, they talking about how many licks does it take to get throat cancer? You never know. The world will never know.
1, 2, 3.
Shout out to the old people that know that joke.
But yeah, man. Oh, that's just sad, guys. We hate to hear
that can make you slap somebody.
And it'll give you throat cancer, apparently.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Now every time you're out there sucking dick, somebody try to call you and save your life, you know?
What's up, girl? Sucking dick right now. Let me call you right back.
Let me call you right back. I'm busy. I know now when that phone rang, that what you do? Girl, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't sucking nobody's dick. That's what's gonna happen now when you get them phone calls.
Oh my goodness.
They're gonna smack it out their own hands.
We hate to hear it, guys. Okay. You hate to hear it. You hate to see it. The IRS is hiring armed special agents, paying up to $95,000 a year. And you know why? Because Republicans have been saying shit like the IRS is targeting Donald Trump because it's illegal and da-da-da-da. And the same way motherfuckers is trying to roll up on the FBI and trying to roll up on...
All these people are just doing is just trying to do their jobs.
Trying to roll up on the DOJ. And now these motherfuckers trying to roll up on the IRS. And so now you got to go pay people. Now the thing is, I don't know how you vet these people. You got to be a little scared because the motherfuckers that know how to handle guns in America, most of them right wing and kind of agree with Trump. So good luck filling those vacancies.
Right, y'all gonna do some hell of a background check.
360 vacancies they're trying to fill.
Yeah, we got to protect y'all because these dumbasses, and they consistently spread lies, and then when they come out as lies, because just the way the circus of the media runs, nobody retracts, nobody cares. It's out there, and people just believe the first thing they've heard. Nobody goes back and verifies anything.
Man, that's scary and crazy.
Right. People just want to do their jobs.
This is our country. The IRS is like, we need armed people to help us with these taxes. And it's not like people loved the IRS before this, right? So even with all the anger in America towards the IRS before all this shit happened, they were able to be like, yeah, it'll be all right. This is the first time they've been like, we need some people with some guns. Like, people been wanting to run up on the IRS for a long time. They never needed the guns. Maybe they look at all these AR-15s and shit. Like somebody gonna come in here and set all the taxes back for the country.
Right.
Let's see. A sheriff has warned people about finding folded dollar bills in their yard. Kansas. So on
Who's
Sunday,
taking the time to $4 bills and be like, you know what? I feel like tossing them in your yard.
on Sunday, a resident found a folded $1 bill in their yard. When they opened it up, they found meth.
What?
Yep. Lane County Sheriff's Office says it is common for drug users and dealers to transport drugs in folded money or paper, and it can be exceptionally hazardous if the drug is fentanyl or something like that.
How about somebody kid would have picked up a random ass dollar bill?
Right, now they smoking meth. Now you know what I mean. That's terrible. They said glad it was found by LEC and not a child. But yeah, one person said on the Facebook said the sheriff's office post made no sense. He wanted to know who the dollar bill belonged to and how it got in the yard. Then he claimed that people cannot overdose from just touching or being near a drug. The sheriff responded to the comment. The problem with any substance that is dangerous, that is, if it is not respected, it can hurt you. Skin does a very good job of not allowing bad stuff in, but that is not the only concern. People have a tendency to put their fingers in their mouths or rub their eyes, both of which will easily allow absorption of chemicals into your system. Kids are especially at risk for exposure to chemicals because they are completely unaware of the dangers that exist.
That's true. That's a true statement.
Yeah.
Like you have a cut, anything.
I feel like it was that person's dollar.
They're bad.
They're like, first of all, why you acting like a little bitch? It's just a little meth, okay? Touching meth ain't gonna kill you. Also, whose dollar is it and where did y'all put it and how can I get it back?
I know they was like, where them dollars at?
I'm a concerned citizen and I'm concerned about the location of my meth, okay? Did y'all smoke it or not? Chance the Rapper and his wife, Kristen, are all good after that dancing controversy. Now, we didn't talk about the dancing controversy on the show, but we saw, it was like a video of him going to Carnival. And, Carnival is a different culture. You got a lot of whining, not that much clothes, and a lot of grinding, daggering, shit like that.
Yes. And whining, well, you probably do got wine, but whining, as far as body movements.
Mm-hmm. There was somebody out there that probably didn't know I was talking about, but this is the video. I don't know if y'all saw this when it happened. Let's let the ad play. It'll come up in a second, but it's basically him with no shirt on, and it seemed like maybe he was even with his friends at the beach or something, and this woman was like, twerking, grind, like whatever, like shaking her ass, and he just went up and did like he was humping the air behind her, kind of like. I think within the context of Carnival, that is extremely common.
Yes, this time of the year, whenever these videos come out, I see a lot of this just going around on the internet. Like
I don't want to say it's not sexual because I think that's the thing people do where they go too far and it's
right,
and you actually sound fucking stupid. It's definitely like sexual, but it's not necessarily like these people gonna fuck tonight or they like each other now or he's cheating on her. It's like dirty it's like dirty dancing, quote unquote, or like you watch somebody do like a very sexual dance on the floor of a club, but it could just be like, oh no, that song came on and it's called Grind on It, and every man runs to the floor,
Correct.
This is the video. I don't know why they're playing the music, but it's just him, and you can even see it's like a Congo line, and like you see her even look at the camera like this nigga Chance the Rapper. This is hilarious. They were having a good time, and so then people were saying like his wife had a problem with it because he's a super Christian, super wife guy, and so he has a reputation. Plus, the internet turned on him for some reason and talk. He's like Mr. Corny now to people. And so I think his wife had put out like a video on Instagram of herself whining on Chance as he leaned back and slapped her butt several times. You know, and for research purposes, don't worry, guys. I got the video. I know y'all want to.
We got you covered.
I know y'all want to see it too. You know, so I think this.
Yeah, this definitely need to be something that you and your mate are okay with.
This must be the woman that this is her page that he was grinding on. Was this her husband or something? Okay, I mean, yeah. Oh, that's a Marion. So she just let famous people grind on her. Okay, cool, man. She's doing the thing. Let me follow to support this dark-skinned black woman. Okay, because that's what I do as an ally. But yeah, so she posted that video. All right, cool. And then people started saying it was inappropriate. You know, fans, this is definitely not appropriate unless he and his wife had a conversation and she didn't want him to attend. If you attend, then you may end up dancing, having fun. That's the point of the event. I'm not sure that person is on which side they're on. This is definitely not appropriate unless he and his wife had or maybe it's not appropriate to go. I don't know, man. Like, I didn't assume that his wife had a problem with it. I didn't assume she did or didn't. I don't know though.
Yeah, people just see things like this, and then, like I say, it goes back to the projecting, and everybody projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of if they know what's going on or not.
And so I think what happened was his wife had posted like a kind of shady comment. Yeah, it was she said something about growing up. This is definitely not okay. Corley 29 seemingly took issue with the incident, as days later she shared an excerpt from Maya Angelou's essay Home, where she talks about how people never mature. Most people don't grow up. It's too damn difficult. What happens is most people get older. That's the truth of it, Angelou writes. They honor their credit cards. They find parking spaces. They have the nerve to have children, but they don't grow up. Not really. They get older. The highlighted excerpt, the former model shared, concluded, and you find out what it cost us to love and to lose, to dare and to fail, and maybe even more to succeed. Corley captioned the cryptic post with, I hope one day we all choose to grow up. No, man, she could be talking about Chance. She could be talking about the people in her mentions and comments. I don't know.
Right. That's very vague.
Yeah, I don't know what that means necessarily. But I guess Chance did want no problems. But yeah, apparently they're doing fine and everything's cool. But I just thought that was an interesting story. And then everybody was just projecting onto it.
Yeah, that's all it boiled down to. Like I said, I see these things come out like during this time of year, and like I said, I am separate. I know nothing about it, but I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. They go out there in these outfits. The outfits are beautiful. You know, all the colors, all the feathers. That's, you know, I really do like, you know, the outfits and things like that. And I go, okay, this is just a part of the atmosphere. Like, this is what happens when people go here.
Yep. All right, you know what? Let's move to some other segments and stuff. I feel like moving on. That was some good news and everything, but trying to do some other stuff. Maybe we do some fucking with black people. Oh wait, shit. Let me get in the right box to do that. Here we go. Boom.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, we're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them people because they black. We're just fucking with them black people. We're just fucking with them blacks. We're just fucking with black people. Hey, hey,
All right, let's go. Fucking with black people. Go around the globe, find different articles, make us feel fucked with. Assign point scores from 0 to 100, intervals of 25 for how much we feel fucked with as black people. And the people in the contest are everybody. Okay. Ex-police officer who fatally shot Breonna Taylor has been hired as a deputy. A former Louisville police officer who fired the fatal shot to kill Breonna Taylor has a new job in law enforcement, a controversial hiring that drew protesters to a rural Kentucky county northeast of the city. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office on Saturday confirmed the employment of Miles Cosgrove, who was fired from the Louisville Metro Police Department in January 2021 for violating use of force procedures and failing to use a body camera during the raid of Taylor's apartment. About a dozen people showed up in downtown Carrollton Monday morning to object to his hiring, holding signs and chanting Cosgrove has got to go. I think he should be in jail, said Haley Wilson, the 24-year-old resident of the small Kentucky town near the Ohio River. She said it is absolutely ridiculous that Cosgrove is now policing her town. Investigators said that Cosgrove fired 16 rounds into the apartment after Taylor's front door was breached during a narcotics raid on March 13, 2020. Thinking an intruder was breaking in, Taylor's boyfriend fired a shot from a handgun at the officers. Officers Jonathan Mattingly was struck in the leg, and the officers returned fire, killing Taylor in her hallway. An FBI investigation determined that Cosgrove and Mattingly struck Taylor, a 26-year-old black woman, and that Cosgrove likely fired the fatal shot. Neither officer was charged by the grand jury in Taylor's death, and we all remember that black man who was in charge of, I think he was like that attorney general who's a conservative Republican MAGA guy that said he made a big deal out of how he wasn't going to charge them no matter what the evidence said. But yeah, so he's working again, and that's the cycle of this shit, and that's what they do. It's like Catholic priests; they just move them to another town. 0 to 100, Karen.
Oh, this gets Jakaris.
Okay, Jakaris, cool.
Was it's very frustrating, because when you go back and look at it, he had to go to a little small town in the middle of nowhere. Probably most people can't even point this town out on the map. Because you know what? Them big cities was like, we don't want you here because you come here. You think a dozen, we'd probably have thousands of people coming here fucking protesting you.
What's crazy to me is, and it's nobody's fault. Okay. But hear what I'm trying to say. What's crazy to me is that because race plays such a big factor into which of these cases we get upset about. And it works for me too. I get upset when it's a black person. But because we have made the discussion so much based on race, the bigger discussion of just how often police kill people of all races,
yes, they do,
is kind of like non-existent. And the only time it's brought up is as a point to belittle the black people who are the canary in the coal mine because we're getting fucked up the most often per capita.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. Other groups get fucked up too. Even white people get fucked up too.
Yeah. And we're missing the stuff like class, location, that kind of thing. And what I think is what this hiring says to me, and I don't know the demographics of this town, this is assumption on my part. But what this says to me is places where they think, well, we just got a white population. We don't have a lot of black people here. They think that fixes the problem. Like, oh no, the problem is it was black people, and you know how it is when you shoot a black person. They just go over the top. And we always forget the other incidences in the cops' record normally, any type of accusations of extrajudicial force, and we forget, just the fact that white people get fucked up, all kinds of people get fucked up by this, but it's because the only time we talk about it as a country is when it's a black person. We end up in this situation where people think, well, if there's just no black people, the cops will do a good job. And I'm like, I don't know, motherfucker like this, he'll be shooting somebody in this little ass town one day. Mm-hmm. And y'all gonna look back and be like, why the fuck did we think this is a good idea? This dude shoots people.
Yep, somebody gonna be suing your little town.
Yeah, and I blame like the fact that we have two sets of facts and shit all the time. Like when you hear Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal say stuff about Breonna Taylor that is completely false, but they've been in those right-wing circles talking to right-wing people, getting their information from whatever conservatives they have in their lives, and those people have lied on Breonna Taylor. They've said it was a drug dealer in her house and she knew what she was doing and she should be ashamed, and it's like none of that was true. But once they can find an excuse, they can find a reason to move on. And in this case, moving on is giving this guy a gun and a badge and saying, go police again. Because they just think it can't happen here.
Everybody thinks it can't happen here. And then all that happens is they do some shit, they fucked up, y'all smack with a lawsuit. And like you say, quote unquote, let's say it happened not to be a black person. Say they have to be a poor white person or just a white person in general in this little small hick town. And they're going to bring up, hey, dog, like, look at that record. And that shit didn't matter. And, you know, people were protesting. And the thing is, it was a small group, but who knows, you know, what the collective of the group look like. But I could see people across the board going, hey, dog, why are you bringing that problem here? Even if I was white, I would be like, why are you bringing that here?
Dracarys for me with a DR at the beginning, guys. That's how it's spelled. Dracarys.
Are you trying to say
what? No, well, I didn't say anything, Karen. I'm talking about myself. For myself, Dracarys with a DR. That's it. You're going to relegate my history to a month. Morgan Freeman brands Black History Month and African American term as an insult. He's been trying to do this for years, by the way. Like, this has been his pet peeve. I don't know why he thinks this is gonna float. The rest of us are definitely not on board with this shit. And it feels like he outthought himself. Like, and this, I do this sometimes too, where I think about something too hard and I can miss the forest for the trees because I'm overthinking. He's overthought this shit. And a lot of people do this too. And I think I know where a lot of it comes from, but you know, he's 85, he ain't changing. So basically he got interviewed about the Sunday Times. He said, 2 things I can say publicly that I do not like. Black History Month is an insult. You're going to relegate my history to a month. The Bruce Almighty star went on to question the true definition of African American. Also, African American is an insult. I don't subscribe to that title. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word. I do not know how these things get such a grip, but everyone uses African American. What does he want us to go by? Black is his thing?
It don't matter, because at the end of the day, as long as brown people are, as long as whatever it does equals brown people, that's gonna become the new nigga, the new N-word,
Right.
the new slang. I mean, the new insult, whatever it is. So it don't matter. It's us. So it don't matter what you call us. That's why a lot of times when it comes to these semantics of words, like, bitch, it don't care. It don't care if you call it Fruity Loops. If it equals whatever this thing is, and people make it that, it's not gonna matter.
What does it really mean? Most black people in this part of the world are mongrels. And you say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent, like Europe. Last year, he was labeled a sellout with blood on his hands after accepting Qatari cash from the opening ceremony of the 2022 World Cup. I don't even remember that. Who labeled him sellout? I'm not saying nobody did, but it wasn't black people, probably. We don't care. Not that we shouldn't care, we just don't. I've never heard a black person be like, this nigga taking Qatari cash, unless that person was like on Twitter all day. You're not gonna ever run into a black in the wild, an African American in the wild.
Qatari, what the fuck? I don't care.
You better cut that damn Qatari off.
That's all.
And go your ass to bed, okay? It's 9 o'clock in the school night.
I don't know nothing about that.
If I wake up and you playing that damn Nintendo or that Qatari one more time.
Where did mongrels come from?
I don't know. Man. He's 85. I'm 0 to 100.
Truth be told, I don't care. I know this sounds bad. I give it a 0 because when some shit happened, and I'm not looking like, where is Morgan Freeman and what does he have to say about this? He is not on top of my agenda of finding out what the fuck is happening in the world today.
I'm not gonna lie. I know black people like this, and it's slightly annoying, so I'll give it a 25. But because I know black people like this, I don't really give a fuck, because those people never have any pull in the community. You know, it's like God bless them, but it's like Jesse Jackson and the NAACP being like, we're gonna abolish the N-word and we're gonna bury it today. And you're like, nigga, please, you're not gonna be able to do that because you don't speak for everybody and you ain't got the pull. And I feel like that's kind of how I am with Morgan Freeman, where it's like, okay, buddy, we'll stop having Black History Month because one actor said he don't like it. Stop. How about y'all stop asking them, white folks? Okay, it's not y'all business. Stay out of our business. I bet it was a white publication for sure. I bet it was a white journalist too. Like, what about Black History Month? Oh, I'm glad you asked me. Like, here you go. Black Lives Matter activists ruined a white University of Virginia student's rep over a misheard remark. A well-known Black Lives Matter activist allegedly ruined a fellow University of Virginia student reputation, accusing her of referring to George Floyd protesters as speed bumps and threatening to run them over, only to later admit that she may have misheard the offending comments. UVA student Zaina Bryant, then 19, was already a high-profile activist. Was she though? Or y'all saying that because y'all trying to elevate this misunderstanding into like an existential threat on this white woman's life? Because I mean, maybe people know her in the chat, but I've literally not heard of her. And for y'all to be calling her high profile, it feels like one of those things white people say to embellish the threat.
Yeah, and you know how no matter what you do, if you say anything pro-Black, you automatically just lumped in these groups.
Yeah, like nice try, but anyway, so she was already a high-profile activist when she encountered fellow student Morgan Bettinger in a July 2020 protest. What happened next sparked a social media hate campaign in which Bettinger was denounced as a Nazi. School investigations and a bid by Bryant to have Bettinger expelled. Bettinger, the daughter of a police officer, pulled up near the George Floyd demonstration and found the street blocked by protesters. A truck driver had parked his vehicle to protect the demonstrators, prompting Bettinger to at one point tell him, "It's a good thing you're here because otherwise these people would have been speed bumps." I had no interest in walking over to him to speak to him, she told authorities, but out of being polite, when he spoke to me, I answered. The speed bumps remark was said in gratitude for thanking the driver for protecting the protesters. The driver did later corroborate her remarks to the local cops. So this doesn't appear to be like she got caught lying unless it's coordinated, but I don't know why a person that put their car in a position to protect the protesters would then protect somebody that said some shit about killing the protesters. That doesn't make sense to me, to be honest.
Right.
Not once did anything from the past or even the rally, Unite the Right rally, cross my mind. She said it was simply a comment made to a dump truck driver who was sitting there blocking the road, just saying, "It's good you're here." Bryant took it quite differently. Bettinger, she claimed, was threatening demonstrators and got in her car and cried after she was confronted. The incident drew attention after Bryant, the student and social justice activist, took to Twitter. Her version of what happened was retweeted more than 1,000 times. Yeah, that's not famous. No offense. But
1,000 is kind
1,000 is not famous.
That's small, baby.
For y'all to be acting like this woman, it was motherfucking like they acting like she was like the actual Black Lives Matter organization.
Yeah.
Or something.
I tell you, Black, you a part of the organization, apparently.
The woman in this truck approached protesters in #Charlottesville and told us that we would make good speed bumps. She then called the police and started crying, saying we were attacking her. Brian also posted videos not of the alleged speed bump comment itself, but of the aftermath. In the footage, Bettinger backs down the street in her car while Brian and several other protesters follow. It's a Karen, Brian taunted. The story was picked up by local media and spread like wildfire. Bettinger was identified online the next morning and was barraged with insults and accusations from UVA students. One student tweeted that she was a fucking Nazi. The next day, Bryant began demanding the school administrators expel Bettinger. Email these UVA deans now to demand that Morgan face consequence for her actions that UVA stop graduating racist. Bryant herself filed a complaint with the University Judiciary Committee, a student-run disciplinary system, alleging Bettinger had threatened students' health and safety. Bettinger was the subject of multiple investigations in the months that followed. I was completely consumed. My phone did not stop blowing up. I did not sleep for nights. A student disciplinary hearing concluded that Bettinger was guilty of making a legal threat against the protesters, but a second probe found that Bryant probably didn't even hear firsthand what Bettinger uttered and considered her evidence shaky. Bettinger eventually graduated from UVA, but with a permanent mark on her record. No witnesses corroborated Bryant's claim that Bettinger derided protesters as good fucking speed bumps, even though it happened in front of more than 30 people, according to the outlet, which also reviewed documents previously not made public in this case. Bryant was a celebrated activist at UVA. She got national attention after writing a 2016 petition demanding Charlottesville take down the statue of Robert E. Lee. By summer 2020, she was on Teen Vogue's 21 Under 21 list. She had spoken alongside Bernie Sanders and had been profiled in such outlets as New York and New York Times. No offense, literally never heard of her till just now. Since the UVA, but I mean, listen, I can't take that away. Maybe that if that is your profile and you do target this one person and you don't actually know that they said that shit, that could make that person even more afraid and shit, because it's like this person is saying I did something. They also have been in the New York Times. Like, yeah, it's scary to them. She was subject of a positive Washington Post profile in 2021 that was named Ebony Magazine's Power 100 list. Neither woman could be reached for comment. UVA did not immediately respond to the Post request for comment. Bettinger said that even though she was ultimately vindicated, the damage has already been done. She's planning a lawsuit against the school. The whole situation has had a huge impact on my life. The university has never had to answer for what their actions have done. So to me, this sounds like she went to this outlet, the Post, and said, I want to tell my side of the story now. And I guess people probably weren't necessarily interested in her side of the story in 2020. And, you know, it was kind of the height of George Floyd and shit. Like, we was getting everybody. Like, any hint of racism or accusation, it was, you got to go. You're the problem. You know, it's the summer of Karens and sidewalk Susans and shit. I can see how it could have been a misunderstanding and it blew up, and you're not going to catch these people admitting any fault. They're never going to say, my bad, you know?
Nope. And so if I'm her, from her perspective, you're goddamn right, I'm suing the school.
Yeah. And of course, you know, everyone involved is kind of young. So like, you're not really going to get cooler heads prevailing. I think also with a lot of the activist space, a lot of those younger people are in turmoil, and it's hard when you're a brand and a content creator and your content is this kind of controversy, because how do you know from right from wrong? How do you know when you went too far? How do you know when you don't have your ducks in a row, but you believe you do, you know? And especially with there not being any corroborating evidence, like no one got home on tape, no, like all these people, no witness. Like there's not one other witness that's putting on the record like, yes, that's exactly what I heard. And then to me, the biggest thing is if the truck driver is the one saying she didn't say it, that's a real hard one to, because she supposedly said it to him. He the one like, no, she didn't. It's hard to believe like that to me, it doesn't make any point that he would cover it up. It seemed like a young person's mistake to me. To go after this woman this hard without really knowing. I feel like a lot of us could have done it in that heightened atmosphere after George Floyd, but I don't know. I kind of, you know, I kind of think this white girl is probably right here.
Me too. And it's also one of those things to where, like you say, when you get older, you kind of, all the side, your critical thinking skills a little bit higher. And you'll start analyzing, the cost, you start weighing shit that you don't weigh when you're younger, because when you're younger, you don't think about the consequences of your actions. You just do shit sometimes, and chips fall where they may. And that's not always a good thing, because sometimes they actually, shit like this might happen. And it's also one of the things from her perspective, particularly, if what she's saying is true, and I actually do believe her, that it was just a misunderstanding, because it can happen. Even though people don't want to hear that, it can truly happen. And then you walk around, like you said, it was how to Karen. So you calling her a Karen, you know, and then when you take it to another platform like Twitter and all these other platforms, where a lot of times the whole purpose, like I said, is a depressed hive mind.
Right.
And not only is it a depressed hive mind, you give them something to distract them from them being depressed. And then what do? They go and they find and they seek and they dox and all, like you put it on there for that purpose.
And who knows how many people who actually were involved in there were even involved in the online part of this, going after this woman, because I think a lot of times once you get to social media, it's a fucking, you know, it's a free for all. Like they don't really need to know that this person did anything. It's kind of like, oh, you said this person is a bad person, well, cool. I don't want to think about how I hate my job or my marriage or my weight or my health problems or what. Like, I just need to be mad at something. Thank you. And we going after this white lady. And then, what is this now? 3 years later? 3 years later,
and people have
she's
forgot.
just now really getting to say her side of it, which is it was a misunderstanding. Assuming the stuff in that article is true and it's just not some type of setup,
Right. And it's all the things where, because the way the internet is like, ooh, it's a cookie. Ooh, it's a cookie. Ooh, it's a squirrel. Ooh, it's a nut. It's whatever it is. And our attention just moves on to the next thing. So these people have forgot. They don't remember. They won't remember. And it's one of these things where a lot of people don't have compassion and empathy like they claim they do. So a lot of people, particularly a lot of black people, are like, fuck her, she's white, but she was done wrong. Right. And the thing about being done wrong, it doesn't matter the color of the skin. Justice is justice in my book. Yeah, but a lot of people don't feel like that.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that I just personally, I'm not really involved or trying to even be involved in like the activist space, is because this kind of stuff is not that uncommon. And when it does happen, I value accountability in a way that a lot of people don't.
Agree.
Like, to me, if I was even responsible for, like, I made the mistake of accusing somebody of something they didn't do, I would feel responsible to go back and be like, hey, my bad, everybody. Please stop. This person's cool. I fucked up. It's on me. If it makes my brand look bad, I'll just take the hit because I shouldn't have done that.
Agreed.
And I feel like that's not valued by a lot of people.
No, it's not. And also the thing is, for her, she graduated and all that shit.
But with a permanent thing on her on her career.
I was about to say that. Yes, that's why she was like, bitch, you gonna get this. Because you know what, particularly when you first graduate, what do they want? They want your fucking transcript. And that's gonna be on your transcript. Get this off of here. I
still haven't gotten over this motherfucker that gave me a permanent mark on my career, my job, when I was working in a logistics corporation. It was a complete misunderstanding. I was right. He was wrong. He assumed I was having an attitude with somebody in an email when I asked an earnest fucking question. No, y'all know me. I don't get out of pocket. I don't get unprofessional with people. It was like a legitimate question, like, something like, well, did you read the document or something? Something like that, something innocuous. And the person must have got offended. Brian, the manager, took it in the most like, oh, you could have pointed them out this. I was like, I asked them, did they read? Because I wanted to know if they read it. Because if not, I wouldn't need to explain it again. You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say go read it. I said, did you read it? Or whatever the fuck it was. And he left it on my record. I didn't even know he left it on there. Because in the meeting, he acted like he understood. And then someone told me years later, like, yeah, you got this thing on your record. I'm like,
and look like that should be legal. Look like they would have told you, they would have put that on your record.
Yeah, but my point being, like, I can see why someone would be upset by that. A North Carolina woman says a Chick-Fil-A employee printed a racial slur on her receipt. Said, I couldn't eat. A Charlotte, North Carolina teenager says she was given a Chick-fil-A receipt with a racial slur on it, and her mom is speaking out against the company. April Jackson told WSOC TV she was really, really upset and sad after her 19-year-old daughter, Naisha, told her about the incident following a stop at the drive-thru earlier this month. The teenager, who is black, said she received her food with the N-word slur printed on 2 receipts attached to each other. Yeah, that's a bad one, dog.
Yeah, and somebody put that in internally, because I worked at restaurants, and sometimes you can like edit things or add things and write things across it. So yeah, somebody actually put that in the system.
It's Chick-fil-A, so like if they would have called you like a homophobic slur, fine, okay, that's the brand, that's what they sell. But a racial slur, come on, man.
That's where you draw the line. This is where I draw the line.
It's already chicken. Like, we don't need to add racism to it. So people already got hangups about eating chicken. Like, why you gonna just do that to people? It's gonna mess her up for life. She's gonna be a vegetarian.
So you know what? It was on purpose, because it was on both the rest. It was on both the
receipts.
It was
on 2 receipts.
It was on the one they stick on the outside of the bag, and then the one they give you.
Also, even if it was on 1 receipt, How could it be an accident? It's
It's
the
true.
N word. It's the N word.
Yes.
Like, it's
Not, but I just not unless you got a secret menu that has nigga chicken that prints up on its
Right.
own. I do not see this being a mistake.
I'm really lost for words because I couldn't believe that someone would write something like that about my daughter and racially profile her like that. A spokesperson for Chick-fil-A tells People that after investigating the incident, the word on the receipt appears to be a misspelling of the customer's name. Now let's see. Her name is Nyasha, Nyashia. So maybe it's Nyashia, Nyashia, nigga.
I'm not buying that.
Unless this is the most elaborate setup for a lawsuit in history. Because now that I'm thinking, this is a good. Every black person could all get Chick-fil-A for life if we play the cards right. You go through the drive-through, they ask you the name for this under, you say a racial slur. Then when you pick up your order, you take a picture of the receipt, you be like, these motherfuckers racist. Why? They know my name isn't Porch Monkey Jenkins or whatever. They're like, how would they even come up with that? And the employee's like, but that's what you said. That's what you said. No, I didn't say that. My name is Roderick. I don't even know how you got that. There's no misspelling, a typo, or anything involved in that. So maybe that could be a conspiracy.
But I don't believe it. So.
Yeah. She said the employee working the window gave her a heads up when handing her order. He was like, you might want to look at what they put your name as. Oh, shout out to that black person.
Oh, that black person was like, I don't think that's spelled right. Okay.
Shout out to that black person.
Because you know what? The baby probably wouldn't need to pay. You know, a lot of people just like me just tear the receipt up, not paying that shit no attention.
First of all, it's hard to believe this happened because Chick-fil-A is so polite. I'm almost on their side, to be honest. Because I've never seen Chick-fil-A got the most politest employees. It's hard to believe. Like, they be asking how many they serve you. You know what I'm saying? Like, my pleasure. You know, oh man, it's hard to believe. I was just in shock, continued Naisha. I literally parked right there. I couldn't eat the food. I was just in shock. The Chick-fil-A spokesperson tells People that the operator at the location has started additional training at his restaurant to ensure this doesn't happen. Additional training. There's no training on the earth. You don't even, additional training will literally take 30 seconds. Don't ever put a racial slur on a receipt. Right. But what if they say their name is a racial? Don't ever do it. Then put the wrong name. You put the wrong name at Starbucks all the time when they give you their government name.
Right. Oh,
my name is Karen. Oh, you said Kokomo? Cool. You're like, well, okay, so y'all didn't even try. Hey, my name is Rod. Oh, you said Jonathan? Like, just do that. Fuck up that way. Never fuck up racial slur way. If they say a racial slur, you put something different on purpose. Like, oh yeah, it's me, Moon Cricket. Oh, okay, cool. You said Samantha. Cool. Order for Samantha up right now. Yeah, they said they started additional training and they apologized. April argued that the training would not suffice. You shouldn't have to be trained to not call someone an N-word. I'm just being as honest as I can be. I want the employee fired. I mean, it's fair. That's fair. I thought you meant the training wouldn't suffice and that it wouldn't work to teach the person not to do it. And I'm like, pretty sure the training is going to suffice because it's going to be, it's a one sentence training. Hey, no more racial slurs, guys.
Hey, they probably taught IT. They like block all these words. Yeah. Do not allow them to put these words in the system.
We don't even want you typing this shit.
They just get them a list of racial.
You type the N word, it prints out Latoya, and we just move the fuck on.
Yes, yeah, that's what it is. But like, if they put these words, this is what it spits out.
So we got a Latoya. We know what it means. We know it means y'all racist, but you never can say it. But yeah, they said the company attempted to contact the Jackson family to better understand her experience and apologize for the situation. April told WSOC she doesn't plan to speak with the company as she pursues legal action. She gonna get so much money they got to open up on Sundays. All right, 0 to 100, Karen.
That's 100.
Yeah, that's 100 for me, man. Come on, dog. That's terrible. That's literally I'm trying to be very understanding of people, especially when you make mistakes. We've all made mistakes. That is one I legitimately cannot imagine an earnest mistake. I can't imagine. I can't. The fact that the dude at the window had to let her know, I'm not in on this and you should probably sue, tells you that even the people in the building knew that shit was stupid. Oh, what fucking dumbass.
Somebody did that. Watch this.
Yeah,
and
that's what I think happened.
For real, that person's like, okay.
Because most of us don't look at the name on the receipt.
Nope.
And she probably wouldn't have if he didn't tell her to.
That's what I'm saying. For the fact they was like, look, I'm not in on this. I didn't write the receipt. I'm just delivering the food, baby. Or it might have been one of them things where they look down at the name going, I don't think this name is right. Baby, you might want to look at the name on the receipt.
Right. All right. Let's get into some fucking with black people and start.
Ain't that what we just did?
I mean, guess the race.
Okay.
Oh my God. Sorry, everybody.
I was like, we're gonna do it
this
again?
is enough. This is enough. Fucking, I'm good.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Guess the race is where we go around and undo all the anti-racist work we just did in the last segment to be racist ourselves. And the chat room plays along as well as care. Police say a man continued date after fatal shooting over $40.
What?
A Texas man on a date paid $40 to park. Then he got in a restaurant, a burger joint, and the employees told him, hey, you just got scammed. That we don't have a parking attendant. So then the man ran back out, fatally shot the fake parking attendant, and returned to dinner and finished the date.
Bet you they won't steal nobody else's shit.
Well, they are dead, so I agree. They won't. What's wild to me about this is when you're on a date, you do want to impress the person you're with. And this is a good hustle because you probably would be like, oh, look at me. I got paid a parking attendant money, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to be getting throat cancer tonight, and you too, if you know what I'm saying.
Everybody getting throat cancer.
We all getting that throat cancer tonight because I got $40 for parking. Okay, you're worth it. I got it. It's nothing.
Throat cancer on me.
But yeah, Eric Aguirre appeared in court on Thursday on murder charges on April 11th, death of 46-year-old Elliot Nix. His bond was set at $200,000. Aguirre, 29, allegedly told his date everything was fine and that he just scared the man after returning to the Rodeo Goat restaurant from the parking lot.
Not the Rodeo Goat?
Well, I'll tell you this much. I bet he did scare the man.
To death.
Yeah. They then started walking to a table, but left to eat someplace else after Aguirre looked uncomfortable. Oh, he was waiting for the police to show up. He's like, oh, we should probably get out of here now. I see them blue lights.
I don't know. I don't know about the appetizers.
I know I said everything was fine, but the more I think about it, pretty sure cold-blooded murder is a felony. Let's go to Chili's.
Let's go somewhere else.
You cool with Chili's? What if we get to a new place on the date? To the next place and they got a parking attendant? What do you do? What do you do? Like how you like oh, not again, another one of these. Aguirre's date contacted the police 2 days later after police had released photos of the couple who had been identified by Crime Stoppers. Hell yeah.
Right, because I'm not in on that shit.
I didn't do no shooting. Okay.
I didn't even know what happened. I was in the restaurant.
Because y'all got me marked as an accomplice after the fact.
That after the fact shit, fuck that.
I just met this nigga. She wanted to do the right thing. She wanted to make sure she came forward and told the police that what she knew. Police say Aguirre, 29, and his date had parked their vehicles near the downtown restaurant when Nix approached them saying it would cost $20 each to park their cars. Aguirre paid the $40. See, he was flexing. He didn't need to pay her $40. He did, though, to be like, I got your 22, girl. Yeah, I'm gonna get throat later. But was later told by a restaurant employee that Nix didn't work for the parking lot and had scammed him. An employee at a nearby smoke shop later told police he saw Aguirre run back to his car, grab his pistol, and go after Nix. The employee said both men went out of his view, but he heard a gunshot just before 8 p.m. Then he saw Aguirre nonchalantly walking back to his car with the gun in hand. Not nonchalant.
Oh.
Nonchalant? We walking like was the Pink Panther music playing in the background? Right. Still alive. You can tell by the way I walk. You can tell by the way I walk. I just shot a nigga in the alley. Before putting the gun back in his car, Aguirre then walked back to the restaurant, go inside with his date. Nix was taken to a hospital where he later died. Aguirre, who lives at Corpus Christi, about 200 miles southwest of Houston, was arrested earlier this week. So the date was in Houston. Did he drive 200 miles? Or?
He must have.
Wow. Listen, I drive 200 miles for a date. Someone getting shot. Okay. I don't give a fuck.
Shot or throat cancer. Something gonna happen.
Okay. Somebody is taking a shot. Whether it's a shot to the face, a money shot, I don't know. Houston criminal attorney Grant Shiner, who's not affiliated with this case, said, "Let me not mind my business," and got it and said under the state laws related to protection of property, Aguirre's attorney will likely be able to make an argument that the use of deadly force was justified because it is Texas. He took your car. Oh, that's a death penalty. It's Texas.
This is rootin' tootin' shoot 'em Texas.
Left his blinker on. Oh, he must have a death wish. This is Texas, buddy. And
yeah, here Yosemite salmon it.
In 2020, right? In 2021, Texas lawmakers approved legislation allowing people to carry handguns without a license and the background check and training that's gone with it. The problem is that guns so widely available. Well, we know the problem. Nick's fatal shooting. Okay, cool. Guess the race of Mr. Eric Aguirre.
Eric Aguirre. Mm-hmm. I'm going black.
Karen's going with black for Eric Aguirre.
Eric Aguirre.
Mm-hmm. The Punisher white, says Miss Barnes. White says yeast. I hope I said it right. Yeast. Yosemite Thirsty Sam. Yosemite Sam at dinner white. Indian given Arab. Wow. That's double racist. This is a lightsaber. Luke Skywalker white.
You know what? For the fact that he made it back home, 200 miles away, I'm gonna go white.
Karen's changing it. She's changing to white. Hispanic, Latino. The correct answer is, and Karen switched her answer in midstream, and you got it right. He's white. Many of you missed it. Good job, Karen. Way to follow the contest clues.
I thought about that. I was like, wait a minute. You said 200 miles.
Right.
And nonchalantly walking.
My favorite part of this is that I refer to him and the dude he shot as niggas because that's just how I talk in general. Mm-hmm. And I don't think pretty much anyone guessed black. Because y'all know at this point that it has no bearing on the story.
No.
I'm like, this nigga shot somebody. Everybody's like, it could be any race. It could be any race. Yes. Don't let that trip you up. I don't think anyone guessed black.
They've been playing long enough to be like, we got to read more into the context clues.
All right, let's go to the next one. Cops. A woman shot her pet parrot to death.
What did the parrot do? Damn, Polly wanting a cracker now, Polly dead? Shit.
They're talking that shit. You ain't gonna do shit, bitch. Ah. Why do all parrots talk like that?
I have no idea.
Or maybe them just the ones I know, but all the ones I know are like, walk the plank. You know, like I've never seen a parrot that just had like a Jamaican accent or like just like it sound like Morgan Freeman. Like all the parrots got the high pitched, I matey pirate voice. Anyway, while inside her residence, a Florida woman shot and killed her pet parrot with a Glock handgun and then fought with her husband.
Was it the husband's parrot?
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like maybe you was like, oh, you talking shit. Your parrot about to motherfucking get it.
All right. He came in there. That parrot went down. He came in there, arr, matey. Mm-hmm. And it was on the popping from there.
Her husband, Blackbeard Jones.
Come on.
Police say Suzanne Mullally, 62, was intoxicated when she killed her African gray parrot with a .38 caliber handgun inside of a Largo home she shares with her husband, Stephen, who's 66. She 86 that parrot. After Mullally
Yes, she did.
After Mullally murdered the bird, she and her spouse exited the home, began arguing and pushing each other. The criminal complaint notes that a witness watched the couple tangling. Additionally, Mullally doused Stephen, who reportedly was also drunk, with water from a spray bottle. Mullally and her husband were both charged with domestic battery, a misdemeanor, and booked in the county jail. They were released from custody yesterday afternoon and ordered by a judge to have no contact with each other.
Oh, but they live in the same house.
Are they gonna have a funeral for the parrot?
It probably is.
Bury it at sea down in Davy Jones' locker.
Apparently so.
Seen above, Mullally was ordered to have no contact with animals. No contact with animals.
None of the animals.
Do they think she's just gonna be shooting all the squirrel, bitch? What I fuck out? You didn't see what I did to that parrot? You just gonna be in my yard thinking it's sweet? This is motherfucking Sue Mullally house, bitch. Pow pow pow.
I know. Don't be coming around here with them keywords and bits, bitch.
Thought I seen a dog the other day. I wish a dog would. In the late February, cops responded to the Largo property upon receiving a report that a firearm was discharged in the backyard during a verbal altercation. Mullally was handcuffed and taken into custody after a brief struggle with cops, but she was only charged with resisting the police, a misdemeanor. Yeah, because she's a responsible gun owner, guys. Come on. What, responsible gun owners can't have a little something to drink, let off a couple rounds in the backyard? Now you got to take my gun? You got to put me in jail? Of course not. It's Florida. Give her the gun back. Let her go home till she kills a parrot. Then we'll talk about it. An officer who investigated the reported backyard shooting noted that there were numerous loaded firearms in plain view inside the residence, which they purchased that home in 2003 for $97,900,000. Karen, guess the race of Suzanne Mullally.
Suzanne is white.
Karen's going with white. Old Calamity Jane White.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates of the Suburbs White. Nigga parrot hating white. Polly want her a cracker. Polly called her a cracker. Oh, that's hilarious. Shotgun Annie White. White. The correct answer, everyone said it, white. That's sad.
That's a beautiful bird if it's the bird over there on the left.
That's sad that the parrot got killed over some these motherfuckers was fighting and didn't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know? It's like, well, fuck you then, bitch. I'm gonna kill your parrot. What do it then? Kill him. I don't give a fuck.
And the bird is like, now why am I in it?
Yeah.
Bam. And
Why am I in
it? And then it's gone.
Oh, the bitch set me up. All right, correct. Hey, let's go to the bonus round. Karen is 2 for 2 today.
I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get the
Gold
race.
teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey, big baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
What if the parrot was her husband's parrot, and because he always talking shit about her, the parrot picked up that and started talking shit too, and that's why I got fucked up.
Possibility.
Do the dishes. Make me a sandwich. Make me a sandwich.
Oh no.
Shut up, bitch. He's like, you got one more time. Stop teaching that parrot to say shit like that.
Right?
You ain't gonna do shit, bitch.
She's like, all right, I've had enough of you.
Right. An employee at a Popeyes, Louisiana kitchen in Chicago was caught on video destroying the store after he was allegedly not paid for a month of work.
A month? Bitch, I'm not showing up. That's how the fuck this.
I would have. I can't say I blame him.
A month. I'm not showing up after.
I remember I had 2 weeks where I didn't get paid when I was 16 and I was working at Wendy's, and I just left in the middle of my shift when my check wasn't there. And they tried to be like, the manager was like, come on, man, we're gonna get you your money. I said, nah, fuck that. And I quit. And then he asked me to come back to the office, and he paid me under the table in straight cash what I would have got from the check. And he was like, like, damn, man, you happy now? Like, he was making it seem like I was the asshole for wanting my money. I was like, would you work here without getting paid? I was so proud of myself because I was only 16.
And what did they say?
No, he just tried to laugh it off and act like he tried to act like he was doing me a favor to give me what was owed. And I was like, yeah, I want my fucking money. Like, this is crazy. This job is not great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here for one reason. It's not the camaraderie or the fucking sandwiches. I want my motherfucking money, dog.
Yes, I want my money. Shit, at my old job, somebody fucked around, and instead of stretching it for 2 weeks, they hit that 1 week by accident. And all of a sudden, everybody wake up, and this was years ago where you had to, before online, so you had to like call the bank to see, and it sounded kind of short, and I was like, yeah, something ain't right. I called him, I was like, are you sure? Like, that's it. Ain't nothing additional. They was like, nope. That, you had to actually talk to a person back then. And like, nope, that's it. I was like, okay, bet. Yeah, people that already met me. People were already at the office, like already in, actually camped out, like they was camping out for Taylor Swift tickets in front of the HR at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Them people don't come in till 8, and they was motherfucking parked out there. Them people had to go in there, and literally they went in and locked themselves in the office and manually cut everybody their second week check on the spot. And by like 10 or 11, they was handing you out the second part of your check, because people was like, bitch, I paid my bills. The fuck is this?
And
like, people were angry.
And that was one day. This man wasn't getting paid for a month. So a TikTok user named Sarah, it's SRod26.
This is what happens when you don't get...
Posted the video to TikTok. And the unidentified man was cutting open bags and boxes of food and other damage in the fast food restaurant as of Thursday morning. The video had 101,000 views. Text included in the video said, this is what happened when you don't get paid for a month. At the beginning of the video, the man is seen cutting open a bag of raw chicken and dumping the pieces on the ground. In the next clip, he can be seen opening boxes of French fries and tossing the food on the floor. A third clip shows what appears to be a completely destroyed stockroom with overturned shelves, open boxes, and flipped over beds.
It'd be cheaper to pay him.
That's, I think, what his point was. Various foods and liquid that can be seen cover most of the floor. Pictures following the video clip showing damage to the registers and cut electrical cords. The final video clip reads, at least he got his money, while showing an empty cash drawer on the counter and panning to a window where police officers in a Chicago police vehicle were seen outside the restaurant. In the video's comment section, which has over 400 contributions, a handful of TikTok users seem to be understanding of the destruction and even said they would do similar given the situation. A whole month, I'm on his side, a user said. Nah, he went ballistic. Rightfully so, though. Other users commented that he responded in the wrong way, suggesting he would have to quit much sooner. He should have quit much sooner. Well, yeah, I hear that too. Reported that he wasn't getting paid or hired lawyers and sued the company. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like, of course we all can relate to the anger, and of course we all know this is terribly stupid. Like, all of this is right. You know what I mean? Like, if you had your best mind and your best people in your corner, they would be like, don't go up there and do that. And of course it's unrealistic to be like, let's go get a lawyer, because it's like, nigga, I work at Popeyes.
Right.
Where the fuck I got lawyer money from? Remember
that was my next thing.
They didn't pay me for a month. I can't afford a lawyer.
Correct.
You know, how do I even find a pro bono lawyer? I got to call the news and hope they care and come out here and get my case on pub. I understand his anger, but he definitely ain't getting paid. There's a corporation. He could have sued and got a nice settlement check. Other commenters wrote, I mean, now you definitely not going to get paid and probably going to have to owe in damages. Unfortunately, you will have to pay now. You should get a lawyer. Should have got a lawyer and contacted the labor board. It's unclear if the employee was arrested or not. Karen, guess the race. I don't have his name. Just, I know what he looks like.
Oh, black.
Okay, Karen's going with black. Seem pretty sure on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Black says Trey. Black says nerdy sensei. Real nigga. White says Cypher. A brother says Stephen A. Smith. Not says Miss Barnes. I know that brother. He's a good brother. Okay. We go way back. I order a 2-piece spicy. It's no wait all the time. We talk on the phone. I call him up at Popeyes, put my order in. But however, you should not be destroying the white man's Popeyes. Okay, I'm completely flabbergasted right now. All right. Black V-Lac. Who gonna clean our toilets? Mexican. Oh wow. Hendrick is very racist. It's like 2 for 2. All right, the correct answer, Karen, you got it right. And a bunch of people missed it too.
You know what happened? He been telling them for the month, y'all better give me my motherfucking money. I'ma fuck this place up. They was like, oh, that don't mean. He's like, no, I'm serious now. Pay me my like not trying to be funny.
No, I know you're not trying to be funny, even though it is funny.
Yes,
but I believe you, and I absolutely, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's why I said it had to be a black person, because I was like, he been telling them for the past week. He was like, oh, y'all still, and he probably coming in every day. Y'all still ain't got my motherfucking money.
You know he's black because he didn't. We're not reading an article about 9 people shot with an AR-15 at Popeyes, because that's how they get mad. You know, this is the video.
This is what happens when you don't get paid.
Oh, sorry. Also, I guess the other Popeyes employees got their checks. I don't know, but shout out to them for recording this. This is true Popeyes fashion. They ain't trying to protect that business.
No, it's not their shit.
They don't give a fuck if they don't sell another piece of chicken the rest of that night. They just recording it like this is happening. Popeyes, it's a Tuesday.
They just gonna lock the doors and turn it like, why y'all close at 5 p.m.? We out of chicken.
We out of chicken. We out of fries. Well, let me get some fries. We out of fries. We out of water.
Chicken strips.
We out of cash registers. We
out of hottie sauce. We out of it all. We don't have nothing. Oh no, they was like, I was about to say, what the actual fuck?
Oh, that's the registers he cut the cords to?
At least he got his money.
And he cleaned out the registers. And then it just saw a Popeyes manager talking to the cops outside.
I know. He was like, y'all want the rest of the day off? Y'all got it.
Right. Good grief.
Oh, yeah, they were warned. Ain't nobody in there surprised that he fucked that bitch up.
That's why they put out their phones like, here you go. He's been telling us.
He came here every day fucking screaming, and they blew his ass off, and now today is the day.
Listen, I wouldn't have did it, but I understand. Because I have literally been in this situation more than once working in fast food. The disrespect and the fuck, it's enough to drive a person crazy. And some of the people that work there are the kind of people that do shit like this. Like, that's one of the reasons I was scared. Anyway, sword ratchet this time. All right, let's get into it, guys. Sword ratchetness, go around the globe. Bring up stories about swords, let you know what is going on, the scourge that this violence is inflicting upon the community.
From overnight, a woman was killed in an apparent domestic-related incident in Pune. Police say the weapon used appears to be a sword. Officers were called to a home on 38th Avenue in Orchidland at about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. There, they found 52-year-old Christopher Ray Howland with injuries to his hands and bloody clothes. Next to him, a large bloody sword. While waiting for an ambulance, officers found a 58-year-old woman with multiple wounds to her upper body and extremities. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Holland became unresponsive on the way to the hospital, and police believe he drank some kind of chemical liquid prior to their arrival. He survived and is in police custody at the hospital. Hawaii PD has classified the case as a second-degree murder investigation.
Oh my goodness, get him off the streets.
Right. It's like we got this death, but it's beautiful. Listen to the birds.
Oh yeah, I guess everything is beautiful in Hawaii. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because it's like most of the time you don't hear like birds chirping in the background and insects.
It's very
and shit.
tranquil.
Yes.
It's very tranquil for a
Washington, the sad news.
Yeah. All right, that's it, y'all. We'll be back later throughout the week. Thanks for listening. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. All the people that came through. Y'all the real MVPs.
Yes,
Don't
y'all
forget,
are.
we still got a sale going on for premium for a whole year. Make sure y'all take advantage of that. It'll be over on the 15th of May, so you still got time to stack up your coins. And that's it. Until next time.